What you're going to see now is essentially the output, the result of having implemented and built over 2 versions, 70 advanced instructions that explains how to use the knowledge assets that we've given it, how to interact with us, what we do as a business, what to do and what not to do, how to talk to us, and then it essentially how to order and prioritize the information that appears in these 16 knowledge assets, which are just Word files and PDFs, that relate to all of the process we've gone through to help train it. And essentially there's 16 in there now. There was 8 in the first version. So what you're going to see live, as long as the Wi-Fi holds up in terms of streaming and prompting at the same time, you're going to see how our version, our second brain, our Inside Pro, works with these documents to create an output. So let's go on to the brave part of this session. I will click over to ChatGPT. I will go into our project, which is always here on the left-hand side. I am not going to turn on web search for this first part, just because in our trials, it worked better just for this first prompt. So I'm going to copy and paste in a very basic prompt. Essentially, what this is doing is just asking it to carry out what we call a stage 3 review on this ideal client profile that we referred to, Planning Insight, and get us a bit of a summary on are they a good fit for us or not. Previously on Wednesday, this took a little bit of time, so it's probably a good moment just to tell you that after this, I'm going to ask you to do a quick poll, so make sure you're near your computers or near your keyboards. It's loading. This is the nervous wait for me. I will copy our next prompt just to keep us flowing. Essentially what it's doing is now reading those instructions, reading those documents. Okay, great. And actually, amazingly, I'll say this openly, it's given the exact same score it gave on Wednesday. Sometimes when you use short prompts, we notice some variance. So what it's done, what we've asked to do is to give us an ideal client profile score, 13.5 out of 20, which is a good medium fit. It's given us a quick summary of why, and then it's broken down in 3 sections, the kind of information that we want to know about what they're doing at the moment and where we can add value. The scoring system is based on the profile of clients that we know we've had most success with and the areas that we know we can create an impact for. So a low scoring ICP would be someone that we have less chance of creating, an ROI for positive return, whereas 13.5 is a good chance that we can create some positive impact alongside, we guarantee that we achieve 5 times minimum return. We'd hope for someone at 13.5, we can better that. So it's given us some action points of what we could open the conversation with and a bit of evidence we've asked for in terms of where I got the information from. I'm now going to move on to the second part, which is basically to find 3 other companies that are like Planning Insight if we wanted to go after other firms very much like it. I'm going to turn on web search. Hopefully we're going to roll. Fingers crossed. So it's searching the web, it's looking for other companies that match the profile of Planning Insight. And I've asked to do a very basic review. Okay, great. Slightly different results to we got on Wednesday. We've got Barker Town Planning, Concept Planning, and Planning Consultant James Holmes as well. So it's given us a bit of detail about their track record, how old the company is, why they're a good fit. It's given us a quick break in terms of the strongest matches. So they all look pretty reasonable in terms of a strong match, but I might want to go a little bit further before I put together, really do my research or connect with them on LinkedIn. And I'm going to say carry out a stage 2 review, which is a little bit more in depth. Not the full 20 points that we did beforehand, but it essentially is a little bit more of an in-depth one. So let's hope it carries on this roll of quick output. Searching the web, fingers crossed. This happened very quickly in Wednesday's session. Good. All right. So what it's given us now is it's reminded us of our legend that we created, and it's scored on a very basic level these 3 different companies and explained where they're a good fit and where they're maybe not as strong. It's changed the ranking a little bit. So we probably focus on James Holmes Planning Consultant if we were going to approach any of these in detail. But just for illustration purposes, I'm now going to say, let's say we're going after all of these firms. I'm now going to ask it basically to look at a couple of questions that we should be opening the conversation with based on what we do as a business and what Inside Pro can see about their businesses, whether there may be gaps, and so that we can turn up with not just asking, can we have your business? Can we do some business with you? Can we help you? Is to actually ask them questions that will provoke some curiosity about what we do. So it knows what we do as a business, it knows how we find and create value, and it's come up with some creative questions for these businesses. Lastly, what I'm going to show you is if we wanted to approach them and sort of start building our context, our relevant context, our timeliness of why we're approaching them, I'm going to ask Inside Pro to come up with 3 news stories that are relevant to these businesses at the moment from January 2026, so that when I do approach them, I can recognize what's going on in their world and adjust from there. And this will be the last thing I'll go through on the live demo, and then we'll quickly go into how, and we'll finish up for 10:30 with a bit of time for questions as well. Yes, Danny, it was quick. Given I'm obviously live streaming at the moment as well, it is quick. It's normally a little bit faster than this, but again, this is on short prompts. So it's given us 3 news stories that we could run with. It's given us why they're relevant, and then it's created some talking points for us as well. So it understands these talking points are something that we can influence as part of being a growth consultancy, a growth advisory, and then basically giving us a final conclusion. I will pause there because there's lots of other functions we can do, but watching someone prompt on screen probably is not overly exciting. You guys can obviously watch the replay, and we also got plenty of opportunity to do some demos with you guys as well. What I think I want to show you for the last 4 or 5 minutes is just what's gone into this, and to cast your mind on how could I make this happen for myself if I wanted to, and what goes into creating this level of product